See, Faye? Come on back, Faye.
Stories I got about why I got into public service in the first place. And I'm so proud of her and her family, and she's going to do great things. We also have here your former governor, Charlie Crist. Give him a big round of applause. Your outstanding senator for the next 6 years, Bill Nelson's in the House. Representative Corrine Brown. And Ted Boyce, and the chairwoman of the Dallas County Party, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And let's hear it for your mayor, Peter Boebert. Now, and all of you were here, and I'm really happy about that. You know, for the past several days, all of us have been focused on the storms that are taking place along the East Coast. And obviously Florida knows something about storms.
Video?
We mourn those who've been lost. And I've been up in New Jersey.
كان خلصت من الفيديو ده اطلع الفيديو الثاني بصوره كده بعدين تجيبي عليه عشان انزله في
When I talk to them, I'm talking on behalf of America. I have told them that we will be with them every step of the way until they have fully recovered from the hardships and the crisis. And we're going to do it together because that's all we do in the United States of America. You know, and as heartbroken as we've been by some of the images of families whose lives have been upended, we've also been inspired. Seeing police officers, firefighters, and EMS folks rushing into burning buildings and waiting water to save lives. Neighbors helping neighbors cope with tragedy. Leaders of different political parties working together to fix what's broken. We see a spirit that says no matter how bad a storm is, we'll always bounce back.
Come over
No
here.
matter
I
how
want you
tough
back.
times are, we're all in this together. When we rise or fall as one nation, and as one
شكلهم
people.
برضه ناس عملوا كده برضه اول ما جالنا
God is coming along his improbable journey for more than 2 centuries, and it's carried us through the trials and tribulations of the last 4 years. Remember, in 2008, we were in the middle of the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We were in the middle of 2 wars. Today, our businesses have created nearly 5.5 million new jobs. The auto industry is back on
Why was he touching that baby's face? You don't even know that baby.
to rise again. We're less dependent on foreign oil
Weird.
than the last 20 years. Because of the amazing service and sacrifice of our brave men and women in uniform, the war in Iraq is over. The war in Afghanistan is coming to a close. Al-Qaeda is on the run. Osama bin Laden is dead. So we made real progress in Florida these past 4 years. But we're here today.
Hey.
All of you are here today because you know and I know we've got more work to do.
Oh, God.
As long as there's a single American who wants a job but can't find one, our work is not yet done. As long as their family's working harder but still falling behind, our work is not yet done. As long as there's a child anywhere, in Florida, anywhere, in the United States, who's still languishing in poverty, barred from opportunity, we know our fights must go on. Our fight goes on because this nation cannot succeed without a growing, thriving middle class. Our fight goes on because America always does best when everybody has a fair shot. Everybody
Sit
And
down.
everybody plays by the same rules. That's what we believe. That's why you elected me in 2008.
Sit down.
And that's why I'm running for a second term as president. It's not just a choice between two parties or candidates, it's a choice between two different visions of America. On the one hand, you can choose to return to the top-down policies of crash our economy. Or you can join the building a
Come
future
on.
that focuses on a strong and growing middle class. You know, as Americans, we honor the businessmen, the subscribers, the dreamers, the risk takers, who've been the driving force behind our free enterprise system. We're changing the growth and prosperity for the country. But we also believe that in this country, our economy grows best, the markets do best, when everybody has a chance to succeed. When everybody is getting a good education. When every worker is learning new skills. When we're investing in research for medical breakthroughs and new technology. We think America is stronger when everybody can count on affordable and quality health insurance. When we protect Medicare and Social Security so that
I have
we
less
guarantee dignity and respect in retirement. We think our economy works best when there's rules in place to protect our kids from toxic companies, from protecting consumers from being taken advantage of by unscrupulous credit card companies or mortgage lenders. And you know, there's some things we don't want Washington to do. For example, we don't want politicians in Washington, most of whom are male, to control healthcare decisions that women can make for themselves. Now, for 8 years we had a president who shared these beliefs. His name was Bill Clinton. You know, in his economic plan, when he first came in office, he asked the wealthiest Americans to pay a little bit more so we could reduce our deficit and still invest in the skills and ideas of our people. And you know what? At the time, the Republicans in Congress and a Senate candidate by the name of Mitt Romney. I don't want you to boo, I want you to vote. I want you to vote. But a Republican candidate by the name of Mitt Romney said Bill Clinton's plans would hurt the economy and kill jobs. Turns out his math was just as bad then as it is now. Because by the end of President Clinton's second term, America created 23 million new jobs. And incomes were up, and poverty was down, and our deficit had turned into a surplus. So Florida, we know that our ideas work. We also know that their ideas don't. Because we tried their ideas too. We tried giving big tax cuts to the wealthiest Americans. We tried giving insurance companies and oil companies and Wall Street free reign to do whatever they please. And you know what we got? We got falling incomes and record deficits and the slowest job growth in half a century. And an economic crisis we've been cleaning up after ever since. So let's just think about this. Here's your choice. You got ideas that we've tried that didn't work, and you've got ideas that we tried that did work. So you think it'd be a pretty clear choice. But Governor Romney is a very talented salesman. So in this campaign, he's tried as hard as he can to repackage these old ideas that didn't work.
Oh, that's what you were looking for.
And pretend that they're new ideas, and he's offering them up as change. But here's the thing, Florida. We know what change looks like. What Governor Romney's offering ain't it. in banks, that's not change. Another $5 trillion in tax cuts for the wealthy, that's not change. Refusing to answer questions about the details of your policies until after the election, that's definitely not change. Politicians have been doing that a long time. Ruling out compromise by pledging to rubber stamp the Tea Party agenda in Congress, not change. Changing the facts when they're inconvenient to your campaign, that certainly is not change. You know, and here's the thing, when you make this choice, you know, part of what you're choosing is who you trust. Because you don't know what crisis the next president's going to confront. You don't know what challenge we may have to meet that was unexpected. So part of what you're focused on is, you know, how does somebody operate? And Florida, after 4 years as president, you know me by now. You may not agree with every decision I've made. You know, Michelle doesn't agree with every decision I've made. You may be frustrated sometimes with the pace of change. I'm frustrated by the pace of change sometimes. But here's the thing, is you know I say what I mean and I mean what I say. I said I never won the rock, I ended it. I said I passed healthcare reform, I passed it. I said that repeal, don't ask, don't tell. I said we make sure the auto industry came back strong. It's come back strong.
Yeah!
You know what I believe, you know where I stand. And you know that no matter what happens, I'll fight for you and your family every single day as hard as I can. And we're talking about change, you know, I know what real change looks like. Because I fought for it. Because I brought it. Because I've got the scars to prove it. Because I've got gray hair doing it. And after all we've been through together to bring about change, we can't give up on it now. Because there's more change to do. Change is a country where every American has a shot at a good education. You know, government can't do it alone. Parents, you got to parent. Students, you got to study. But don't tell me that hiring more teachers won't help this economy grow. It will. Don't tell me that students who can't afford college should just borrow more money from the parents. That wasn't an option for me. I'm going to set that up for a lot of you. That's why the change I want to bring is to cut the growth of tuition in half over the next 10 years.
All right.
I want to recruit 100,000 new math and science teachers so we don't fall behind the rest of the world. I want to train 2 million Americans in community colleges to get the skills the businesses are hiring for right now. That's my plan. That's what change is. That's the America we're fighting for in this election. Change comes when we live up to this country's legacy of innovation. I could not be prouder that I bet on American workers and American ingenuity when I bet on the American auto industry. But what I'm really proud of is not just that we're building cars in America again, but that we're building better cars. Because of advances, because of technology, because of innovation. Cars that we're building now, by the middle of the next decade, will go twice as far on a gallon of gas. That'll save you money, it'll help our national security, it'll help our environment. And it's not just in the auto industry where we can make these kinds of strides. There are thousands of workers all across America, including here in Florida, that are building Walmarts and banners, and wind turbines and solar panels. And I don't want a tax code to just subsidize old company profits. I want to subsidize and support the energy jobs of tomorrow, the new technologies that will cut our oil imports in half. And I don't want a tax code to reward companies that ship jobs overseas. I want to reward companies that are investing here in America. Hiring American workers. Making things stand for free farm work made in America. That's my job. That's the future I see for this country. Change is turning the page on a decade of war to introduce the nation building here. As long as I'm commander-in-chief, we will pursue our enemies with the strongest military the world's ever known. But it's time to use the savings from ending the wars to pay down our debt and rebuild America. Rebuilding roads, bridges, making sure our schools are state-of-the-art, and hiring our veterans when they come home. Because if you fought for this country, you shouldn't have to fight for a job when you come home. That's my plan to keep America strong. That's what's at stake in this election. Change the future where we reduce our deficit the way badly responsible. I've cut $1 trillion worth of spending.
You wanna go up there?
I intend to do more.
I can see, but I can see better.
Reducing the deficit.
You probably can see a little bit better if you go over here.
Go back to the tax rate that they were.
Wait. Come on, Faye. Go right there.
Because budgets are about choices.
The podium, I can see the podium, but it's a thing in the way.
And I'm not going to turn Medicare into a voucher just to pay for another millionaire's tax cut. Young people pay more for college just to pay for another millionaire's tax cut.
Yes. Yes, come on.
We know what the future requires, and we know it's not going to be easy. So back in 2008, we talked about change we can believe in. But I also said, this is hard. Because I wasn't just talking about changing presidents or changing parties. I was talking about changing how politics is done in this country. I ran the first time because the voices of the American people, your voices, had been shut out of our democracy for way too long by lobbyists and special interests, politicians who will say anything and do anything just to keep things the way they are. They want to protect the status quo. And for the last 4 years, the status quo in Washington has taught us every step of the way. They spent millions to stop us from reforming the healthcare system. They spent millions trying to stop us from reforming Wall Street. They engineered a strategy of gridlock in Congress, refusing to compromise even on ideas that Democrats and Republicans used to support in the past. And what they're counting on now is that you'll be so worn down, so discouraged by all the squabbling, so tired of all the dysfunction, that you'll just give up, walk away, and leave the power to be in power. In other words, their bet is on your cynicism. But Florida, my bet is on you and your hope. And listen, I want all parties to work together. No, we're not Democrats and Republicans first, we're Americans first. And whenever the other parties been willing to work with me and help middle-class families and to build sturdy ladders into the middle class, I work with them. You know, some of them supported us when we connect the middle-class families and small business. Some great Republican senators work with us to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. As long as I'm president, I will work with anybody of any party to move this country forward.
Sit down.
If you want to break the gridlock in Congress, you'll vote for leaders, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, or Independents, who feel the same way. Who put you first instead of politics first, instead of the next election first.
Yes.
But sometimes you got to fight for principles. Sometimes you got to fight for what's right. If the price of peace in Washington is cutting deals that will kick students off financial aid, or get rid of funding for Planned Parenthood, or let insurance companies discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions, or eliminate health care for millions who are on Medicaid, people who are poor or elderly or disabled, I'm not going to pay that price. That's not my punishment. That's not change. That's surrender to the same status quo that has hurt the middle class and cost us jobs. And I don't know about you, but I'm not afraid to give up on that fight.
No!
And I hope you aren't either, Florida. I hope you still got some fight left in you. The folks at the very top of this country, they don't need another champion in Washington. They'll always have a seat at the table, and they'll always have access, they'll always have influence. The people who need a champion are the Americans whose letters I read late at night after I left the office. The men and women I meet on the campaign trail, like you, every day. The laid-off worker who has to go back and retrain to community college at the age of 55 to try to get a new career, in a new field. She needs a change. The restaurant owner who cooks great food but needs a loan to expand after the bank turns him down. He needs a champion. The cooks and the waiters and the cleaning staff working overtime at the Fort Lauderdale Hotel trying to save enough to buy a first home or to send their kids to college. They need a champion.
That's right.
The auto worker who's back on the job filled with pride and dignity building a great car, he needs a champion. The teacher. Y'all who's in an overcrowded classroom. Maybe taking into a profit to buy school supplies. Not getting the support she needs, but showing up every day, knowing that maybe she's going to make that difference in that one child's day. She needs a champion. The young immigrant who was brought here, pledged allegiance to our flag, understands themselves to be Americans. They need a champion. All those kids in this city, small farm towns, in the valleys of Ohio, the rolling Virginia hills, the streets of Hollywood, kids dreaming of becoming scientists and doctors, engineers or entrepreneurs, diplomats, business people, even presidents.
Yes, sir.
They need a champion in Washington. Because they don't have lobbyists. They don't make campaign contributions, but those kids, their dreams, that will be our saving grace. We've got to fight for them. And that's why I need you, Florida, to make sure their voices are heard. To make sure your voices are heard. We've come too far to turn back now. We've come too far to let our hearts grow faint. It's time to keep pushing forward, to educate all our kids, train all our workers, to create new jobs, and discover new sources of energy, to broaden opportunity, to grow our middle class, to restore our democracy, to make sure that no matter who you are or where you come from, no matter how you started out, no matter what your last name is, no matter whether you're black or white or Hispanic or Asian or Native American, young, old, rich, poor, disabled, non-disabled, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. If you work hard, you can make it here in America. That's why I'm asking for your vote for it. And you need to work with me. Knock on some doors with me. Make some phone calls for me. Turn out for me. We're going to win Florida. We'll have a election. We'll reaffirm the bond that holds the country together. We'll reaffirm the spirit that makes the United States of America the greatest nation on earth. God bless you.